could be software updates, and I made to do that. So right now we're recording here, so we'll just talk.
All right.
Check.
Let's
Right.
hope this goes good. All right. We probably won't
One,
be able to
two,
use this
three.
video, so whatever topic I had, I'll just do it next time we got it. But anyway,
You had a topic.
I have plenty.
We can still talk about it. It's just.
Well, no,
gonna be
I wanted to
audio.
give it a shout out. I'll be like,
Oh,
okay, but you
shout
know,
out to my dentist.
no,
Keeping me bright. Keeping my teeth shining bright.
with
shining bright.
Colgate. But
You ever see those? Oh, welcome back to the podcast. Hopefully we were able to use the video, but I doubt it. So this is Two Dads in a Pod. I'm Miguel.
Not Walter, but yeah, we all
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's
Happy.
Great New Year so far.
I mean, if we can use the video, it's been
Yeah,
a lot
we're
lately. We
ready.
have a new studio. If you can see it, if we will be able to show it.
It's almost finished. I still got a lot to do. So
Yeah.
that's why I haven't really posted like a updated post.
No, there's that one post that I put, but
Yeah.
it's we haven't named the studio yet, so we'll eventually do
No.
that.
No, I feel like it's gonna be something. Not a man cave, but something studio.
We'll try to make it witty. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
The Bat Cave. No, just kidding.
No,
There's
no,
nothing
not the Bat Cave.
There's nothing Bat Cave related.
No.
It's 2022. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
It's
crazy to think that we
it's
started
insane.
this July or something.
Yeah.
Last July or something. This is technically like what would you call it? Our season 2.
Technically, would be season 2.
Something
I'm
like that.
hoping every year is like a new season kind of thing.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking too, but you know.
It's just one of those things where we gotta just figure shit out as we go.
Yeah, that's
Obviously, and I'm like this close to just like trying to talk to like videographer friends. Like, hey,
what can we
do
do?
you guys
here?
want to join, but as a videographer kind of thing? Not like in the podcast talking, but like just in the background, just use if they have cameras, use their camera equipment.
Oh, okay. I see. The playback doesn't look bad though.
Not anymore. Yeah, it looks like it's catching up.
Okay, so
Anyway,
we might be able to use it.
yeah. Hopefully.
All right. Well, then in that case, well, then might as well just
We'll see what happens. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, I
definitely.
just need a little stand.
don't move it.
I know. It's gonna be like, no.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, look, the video looks fine. You can see it. You can see us.
Yeah.
We're definitely not talking about that stuff right now, but because you should just know the feelings that we have about this right now.
Yeah, the feelings that we have about this right now is a little frustrating.
Oh, very
so.
frustrating. Where our
Yeah.
dad anger is coming out.
Yeah. No, you know what? We were there's this show I've been watching. It caught my attention because it's very like sci-fi-ish, religion intermixed, whatever, and it's called Manifest on Netflix.
I've heard of it. I just never watched it.
A plane disappeared out of the sky.
Oh, that
191 passengers,
Okay, I
and
can
then
see
they
it,
like
yeah.
to them it felt like a minute, right? To the world they were like gone for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when they landed, it was like, can you repeat your call sign? No, it's like flight 828, whatever. And so they landed, and there was like, it's like, all right, we're gonna divert you to this part of the airstrip or something, 'cause it's more isolated.
Yeah.
And then when they showed up, there was cops, there was ambulances, fire trucks, everything, just to make sure everybody's like not hurt,
Yeah.
And they were being held up by the hangar, and they're like, hey, what's going on? It's like, you guys took off, blah, 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 in, 2013.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah? It is now 2018. And there was like,
Yeah.
and then, yeah, so I've been watching it, and the whole show is very emotional. Every single day there's some sort of dilemma, obviously, for the episode, for the convenience of the episode. And always arguing, always, this and that. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if they're arguing all the time about anything, that's not a good relationship, is it? Like, in my head,
So
I'm like,
you're
this.
immediately thinking about just like relationships and stuff.
And I'm like that doesn't, anyway. And then when they're all talking about like their feelings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm like, see, my family would not even mention anything. You did something wrong, they give you a look, like, and then like keep going on with their lives.
It depends on that, or it turns into a 3-hour conversation with a bunch of repetition.
Oh yeah,
My mom was notorious for that. Sometimes I would avoid. Sometimes I'd avoid telling her anything just because I knew that it turned to a 3-hour conversation. No joke. I'm not making that up. Even if it wasn't 3 hours, it seemed like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So. But well, I guess talking about TV shows and stuff, I feel like I might know the answer. But were you when you were little, were you monitored much of what you watched? Was there certain things that they didn't allow?
So back then we didn't have phones, right? iPhones.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So I didn't have a TV in my room until I was like 14 or 15. So
okay.
It wasn't so much as monitoring, just more of like a pack leader thing going on with my dad. I remember very, very, very well. Early in the morning, no TV at all. It would annoy them.
Oh, okay.
It would annoy my parents that we were watching TV. If a lot of times they were already gone to work before we even got up to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
So we
didn't
have a lot of mornings
you
together.
always heard his Trans Am in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it was when we got home and we got home before them, like we would go to my grandma's house, we'd watch TV. But if once we got to the age where like we were able to go back to our own house, we lived like upstairs from my grandma, so it was
okay, so
not that big a deal.
Yeah, probably wouldn't even.
So we finally, we went home and we watched TV, play if we had some sort of game console, we play game consoles. But the moment we heard that car come back, turn off the TV. Not because we were afraid, like he was gonna be like, "What are you watching?" It was more like he's gonna go change, get ready, and then sit on the couch and watch his
TV.
show.
Yeah,
his shows, whatever. Yeah, so it was just one of those things where like,
So they basically were never around to see what you guys were watching then.
No, the one time I did was trying to watch something. It was the story of Trunks.
You told me about that. Yeah, you told about that story. Yeah.
It was like that one rare moment where everyone was in the living room. I changed the I was watching a show. He didn't tell me to like change it or anything like that, right? I was watching it and it was like, I think that movie's been out for like ever.
Oh, it's been a while.
Or to me it felt like forever as a kid. And I'm like, finally I get to see how he became Trunks and then trying
It's a good movie too.
It was really good. And then it was where Gohan dies and he like it just
bunch of screaming and he Super Saiyan.
Yeah. And he just grabbed the remote, changed it. He got annoyed. And I'm like,
it's an acquired taste. Right? It was an acquired taste.
It is. But I mean,
Dragon Ball Z, man, that was. I can go on it, but I don't want my nerd Tourette's to start acting up right now.
Don't do it. You never know how like low key nerds are out there being parents, and they can't be like super nerdy because other parents are probably like, oh my god, And in reality, they're also nerds too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always go walking around my like graphic T-shirts and stuff. So
oh yeah, you know what's funny? That pops up a lot more. I mean, obviously, people have their own like businesses making sweaters and stuff like that, so that's a lot more available.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I saw somebody wearing a jacket with the logo of like the Hidden Village.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or at least the Uzumaki.
Man, I wish we had all that stuff in high school and stuff, but it wasn't cool back then. Now it's cool now.
Yeah.
But I know when we were little and growing up, it's not like our parents really monitored what we're watching. We'd sit around and watch like action movies and stuff. My dad would always rent the movie or something.
Yeah.
We'd just be in the room, right?
A lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Bloodsport, man.
Bloodsport. Oh, that was the big one.
Best one.
Double team, whatever, where he like played his own twin.
Yeah. There's Kickboxer. There's Kickboxer.
Yeah. That was a good one.
My favorite one is Bloodsport, though. That one was just, to me, that was iconic. But anytime that, the only thing that I remember being censored from was like if anytime there was like nudity involved or something. I remember one would cover my eyes and stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't remember a lot of nudity in there.
No, I'm not talking about those movies specifically. Just in general, if we were around watching it, they'd cover our eyes and stuff. I remember that. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think we watched a lot of like shows that had or TV. Or any kind of content that had nudity on there.
No, but I mean, you just think of any rated R movie most likely would have had that, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing that my mom that I remember she really like freaked out on was when Beavis and Butthead.
Oh really?
Oh, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Did you ever get to watch that? Did you ever watch much of it?
I did, but I can't remember if it was a movie or a show.
Okay, so there was a movie later on. That's Do America.
I'm pretty sure
the show came out first.
I'm pretty sure I saw the movie. I can't remember much of it. I just remember the.
Yeah. So my mom, if you go back and just for anybody who grew up watching Beavis and Butthead or remembered when it came out and stuff, it was it became controversial, especially when it came with kids and stuff. And you would hear news headlines about somebody burned down a house or something and saying fire, fire. Yeah, or and their little sister was trapped inside, or they killed their little sister. Shit like that would just pop up and around. And I mean, this is before the internet. And I'm not saying that you can't find fake news on the internet, but I'm not saying there was fake news there, but just everything got blown out of proportion, and everybody just followed one news source, and that was it. Yeah, you know, the 90s, that's right? True. You just, and nobody did anything for themselves. Granted, that type of show was brand new. There wasn't. I mean, the only thing I had was like Simpsons. But even then, Simpsons seemed South Park was no South Park. Yeah, no. Even then, Simpsons was not compared to Beavis and Butthead.
It was more like Tom and Jerry-ish, right?
What, Simpsons?
Yeah, it felt like Tom and Jerry because there was a lot of like over dramatized damage. Like
but it wasn't. You know? Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like, I guess maybe too stupid or too mundane like Beavis and Butthead when they were just like teenagers just doing nothing and just doing stupid things. It was, I guess, the thing about it is a little more graphic than what the Simpsons were. Yeah. But anyway, I remember my mom caught wind of that. I mean, because it was going around everywhere, and I remember she just freaked out and like didn't let us watch Beavis and Butthead anymore. And like that was the only show. And then I remember like because they ended up having to put a parental advisory before every episode. Oh yeah. And then like and some of them was like, see, you can't watch that. Oh, okay, whatever. We couldn't watch it. My dad's old school. I mean, my mom's old school too. And we're old school, but my dad, like, he was like, I remember having conversations with him, and he's like, we used to see heads being chopped off on the news, like in Mexico and stuff. Yeah, you know. And he's like, straight up, just straight up. He'd see heads on the ground of like some like mass killing. You walk outside, you can get stabbed. And he's, I mean, he's just like old school dads here. And it's like, oh, everybody's soft, you know, like
over there, you know, over there, you pretty much if you wanted something, you like killed for it. It just you know, almost to that,
almost you know, it's just you. That was just what was on the news, and everybody was kind of like it wasn't a freak out moment. So I remember one time my dad like was watching Beavis and Butthead because he thought it was funny, and like my mom couldn't do anything, and then we're like there watching Beavis and Butthead with my dad. Quick tangent on Beavis and Butthead though. I thought about this when my kids started learning how to walk, but I never like really said anything until just recently. One of my friends that I. You know, on her Instagram, she posted her daughter started learning how to walk. Started watching music, but started learning how to walk. And as I was watching like that video, like on her story, I started thinking like I was like I forgot that I was thinking about this. Like, have you ever like did Sophia do this when she was learning how to walk? Kind of like hands up in the air like this. Yeah, most old babies so. Like. Yeah, most of them. I don't know. I don't know if it's like. The balancing, you know, they don't know what to do with their hands.
Yeah, no, it's all new. Yeah, new experience.
But the first thing I thought, as soon as I saw that video and then thinking about my kids, I was like, "Oh, babies learning how to walk are like baby Cornholios. Like they're like, they're like Beavis when he's pretending to be Cornholio and like has his hands up like
so much inappropriate thoughts in my head. Something simple, like you just mentioned, something so like milestone, and for me, like something registers. I'm like, huh. Like just, just like and, I don't say it out loud, obviously, because it's probably gonna be.
It's just they're just like rude. I am Cornholio, you know. Shout out to Kia Galvez though. That was her video of her daughter. As soon as I saw that, I messaged her and I told her I'd give her a shout out. So Kia,
that's funny.
It's for you.
That's funny.
Cornholio. But but I was thinking about that because just recently, and you know, what my kids are exposed to. I mean, what kids are exposed to nowadays is like a lot more than what was available for us back then.
Oh yeah, I mean, not
mainstream.
Yeah,
mainstream.
Yeah, it was mainstream. Like it was more funneled, but now it's like everywhere.
Yeah, because like back then, like you had those Faces of Death videos floating around and stuff. So but like
the thing I always like to like also consider is our parents would tell us not to watch this because it's scary, not to watch that because it's a demonio, whatever. But then would tell us about El Cucuy at the end of the night so we can go to sleep.
You're still traumatized by that, aren't you?
Of course I am. I had dreams about it. But I'm just saying, like, what's justified and what's not justified for the kid to be able to watch. So obviously, if it's impacting somebody like negatively, you try to get them away from that, right?
Yeah, and that's the ultimate.
But if they're
point
watching Beavis and Butthead, find it funny, and know it's inappropriate, I think that's fine.
Yeah, no, that's
You know?
that's exactly what it is, and that's one thing.
But if it annoys me, I'm changing the channel.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just like your dad, right?
Parent, yeah. I learn from the best.
So I was thinking about this topic kind of came up to me the other day when I was playing. I've been playing this game for a while now. It's Mortal Kombat 11. It's the most recent Mortal Kombat that's been out lately. And I mean, I've been a huge fan since it first came out. But you know, at this point, everybody knows Mortal Kombat's pretty brutal and stuff. You know, it's bloody and brutal. My kids sit around and watch me play it, and I mean, they think nothing of it. And I'm not much of an online gamer. I don't really like doing it. But this one I did because you can unlock certain costumes and skins through online play that you can't regularly. So I had to bite the bullet. I was like, fine, I'll do online to do it. Still annoying. I still don't like online play.
I have something about online after you.
Okay. I have nothing. So I'm not much of an asshole when I'm playing. You know, I don't have like headphones and talking shit to people. Like not all the time there's people talking shit and stuff, but like you can still message people, the people that you fight. And as soon as the game's over, you can type a message. I usually always say like, "Hey, good game." Like, all right, even whenever I win or lose, I don't fucking care. I'm just trying to get those damn skins. That's literally it. So, I beat this guy, and there's this one stage. It's called the Deadpool, and in it you're basically on this little platform, and this pool of acid is just around you. Yeah, it's iconic because it first came out. It's basically a callback stage. It came out in the second Mortal Kombat game back in the day, and if you do the fatality button, you can uppercut them into this hook that lowers you into the pool and pulls you back out, and you're just a skeleton. All right, my kids have seen that, and they all love to see the skeleton. So they're just like, "Oh, Dad, I want to see a skeleton." I'm like, "All right, fine, I'll do it." And usually when I'm not one of those people that just try to like humiliate somebody when I'm playing. Like I said, I'm just trying to just get my damn thing.
Keep yourself humble. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like now if they start first, then of course, and I have to clap. I have to. You know, just. But so I usually don't try to do fatalities and stuff when I'm playing against somebody. So my kids told me to do it. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. So I did it. After it, I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, good game. Sorry about the fatality. My kids wanted to see the skeleton." Yeah. And I think he was just kind of being like a dumbass about it. He was kind of being like an asshole. Yeah. But he's like, sounds pretty irresponsible. Playing this game in front of your kids made for adults. My message back to him, which is this is true. This is how I think about it. Not really, because back in '91 when the first game came out,
you were this age.
I mean, I didn't play it in '91. No. I played it probably like a good 2 years later. Yeah. When it came to a local pizza
or arcade.
Yeah. It was in the arcade.
Which is funny that family friendly restaurant had the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it had the Mortal Kombat. It was
back then we weren't soft.
Yeah, at a pizzeria, and I remember me and my brother one time we got some of our change, enough change to make a quarter, and we went to the guy in the counter and he changed our quarters. Obviously, back then when a 7 and a 4-year-old could walk out freely and cross the street and all that stuff, and nobody would think anything of it, right? And we did that, and that was my first exposure to Mortal Kombat. And I remember thinking, like, "Oh, cool! You can see the blood, and it was different." But and then even that whole Deadpool stage on Mortal Kombat 2 was present for the second one. Granted, it's not as graphic as it is now, but at the same time, for back then standards, just as graphic. Yeah. Right? And the other one, you just uppercut them into the pool of acid, and then their skeleton would fly up and float off screen. I'll be honest, as a little kid, I had a thing against skeletons when I was little. As a little kid, I remember seeing that. It kind of scared the shit out of me. But I didn't say anything because I knew if I said anything, like I was going to either get in trouble or I can't play the game anymore, right? Right. But the whole thing was, I was like, you know what? No, I was doing the same thing at their age. It really is nothing different. Granted, if my daughter, my son, or even my oldest are cowering in fear every time I play that game, okay, I clearly cannot, right? That would be my responsibility. Is okay, they can't handle it. Yeah. But definitely, like your point though, like
Oh, I just
if you clearly see signs that they're just like
being damaged.
Yeah, being damaged, then okay, but
Yeah.
you know.
Which to be honest, like you have to be more of a like in the moment parents if that's the if you're trying to do it that route, you have to be in the moment parent. You can't be on your phone like ignoring them or something.
Yeah.
You do have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Which is a parent's job, you know?
Right.
It's always funny how like we give our kids the cell phone or the tablet or put Coco Melon on the TV or something just to get some alone time and stuff like that.
Coco Melon. Yeah,
play Coco Melon. But like at the end of the day, it's like if we notice that her attitude is changing because of Coco Melon or something, then we'll probably steer away from Coco Melon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we automatically steer away from Ryan.
Yeah, no. I mean, no. There was a time when we had to take Donovan off of Blippi for a little bit just because he got too obsessed with it, where like he was getting like really angry or violent when we had it. Like we're like, hey, watch something else, or like, hey, no Blippi right now, or hey, let's go eat and take it away from him. It's like, all right, well, clearly his mood is now changing because he's just too absorbed in it. There's nothing that Blippi did wrong. It's just that it was just
spent way too much time.
He was too much time on it. Then he got
Then when I had enough.
Basically, right? And you're just like, all right, you know what? You can't watch it.
I do notice that when Sophia starts to do that, and I take away the phone, I literally just have to start playing with her. Well, like we'll just distract. She'll like forget about the phone.
Yeah,
you just distract her with like playtime and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
It's parenting.
Oh wow, they want attention.
Whoa, I wish you would have told me.
Whoa there, hold your horses. You know, it makes you wonder. Like as kids, did our parents do something similar to that? Obviously, every generation is different. But I remember if I was too addicted to something, I was really upset after or something, like too much TV or something like that. Video games. But I don't know why, but I understood it. My expectations were set very low at a very young age on how much of something I can have. Right. So anytime I see something like this bullshit, it's like, don't worry about it. You know.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll happen again, or eventually you'll get that device again, whatever. Like that was my mentality or whatever. And I remember like friends and even my brother or something, like they would be mad or something for a while. And like I even see it in like my kid and her cousins a little bit, like they get mad and I'm like, they just need a distraction after that. You know? You can't just sit. Their brains are all over the place.
Yeah, no.
You can't just they're not dogs, obviously, which is funny because every once in a while when Sophia's like going somewhere, hey, Sophia, come over here. And they're like, that's fucked up. And I'm like, it catches her attention, right? But
I have to stop myself sometimes when I throw something. I'm like, go get it. And I'm like, fuck.
I know. You're treating them like a dog. Yeah,
you're just like,
but it's funny, though, because like a lot of people describe dogs as like a 2-year-old. Like there's
forever 2-year-old.
Yeah, they can do things, but you teach them. Obviously, us as humans develop past that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2-year-olds, like 2-3-year-olds, like technically a little bit.
Dogs are so needy though.
They just need attention. Same as the kids.
So much kids.
But the whole online thing.
Yeah, I was gonna.
What bugs me a little bit about the whole online option now is on my phone. I was trying to find Tetris.
Okay.
Right. If I had to buy the game, I would have bought it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this Tetris game app, whatever, that I downloaded. I'm like, oh yeah, and it didn't let you buy it. It was free. However, you have to play online, so other people can see your scores and so and so and so and so. And I'm like, what? Why? Huh? In my head, I'm like, obviously they want my data, but I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
They obviously want to know where I am, where I live, what I'm doing, how long I'm on the app, all stuff. Obviously, that's the whole reason. Yeah, that's the whole reason. That's how they make the money on the back end.
Unless you buy the full version.
Unless you buy it, but they didn't have the option to buy it because that's how they probably decided.
So it's free to play.
It's free to play.
But obviously
have to be online.
Yeah.
And so, like, every time I go play and it would tell me, like, this person did this much. I'm like, I don't care how much they did. I'm just trying to kill time. I got the solitaire game and all that stuff. Texas Hold'em every once in a while and download it, but then like the ads start popping up. You remember a time where when the phones first started having app and the phrase "there's an app for that" came out?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I really did forget.
yeah.
about
The
that.
first
There's enough
for the
that,
first
yeah.
few years, and then whoever, if you got early to like develop apps for Apple and Android or whatever, you're probably making bank right now because you got like you learned it. You're either
because
first.
they bought it too.
Yeah, because you're either first or you're like the best out of something.
Yeah, now I remember when everybody was
There was an
started
app
getting,
for
like,
that. Yeah,
when everybody was
and
getting
so before
iPhones,
screen casting from your phone to the TV was
Mhm.
a thing or whatever, or like everything was networked in together. I told a buddy of mine, it's like when the phones first came out and there wasn't a lot of apps yet.
Mhm.
I told him, it's like, hey, is there any way to make a remote control app like to control your TV?
Oh yeah.
That'd be dope. But the TV wasn't a smart TV. But I'm like, yeah, but if somehow you had like an attachment to the phone that sent that signal to the TV, like a remote control, and then just have the app, would that work?
You should have.
I motherfucking should have.
You should have.
So I have all these ideas all the time, but I just don't know how to execute them or whatever.
Yeah,
and at the same time, it's just more one of those things like,
Yeah, no.
and then like 4 or 5 years
Should have
later,
copyrighted that.
yeah,
I know.
4 or 5 years later, Apple came out with their Apple TV and the screen casting for the iPhone. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
So they made their TV into a smart TV with the Apple TV. And yeah, quick note. Apple TV is like a Roku. It's not an actual TV.
For anybody who needed that.
For anybody who needs to know, it's a device you hook up
For
to
our
your TV.
For our 60 and older,
For
our 60 and older
Yeah.
audience.
It's like, I don't need a new TV. No, I'm not saying. Just use your regular TV and go from there.
Oh man.
I found this adapter for a Nintendo 64 to HDMI. So you can actually, because you know how a lot of
third
TVs
party.
don't have
Yeah,
three
third party.
colors anymore,
Yeah.
the RCA cables.
Yeah.
So I got like this little adapter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
TVs
from
don't
like
have, yeah.
N64
and
now?
64.
Oh, like
from
yeah,
back in
oh.
the day.
Oh, okay, no, I still have mine.
So because we were trying to do
No,
stuff at the theater.
Oh yeah, no. See, now that's the thing is, so I busted out my old stuff too and put them on my big ass screen TV,
Yeah.
and so I
You
too
had
had
an
a
adapter?
I had to buy an HDMI,
RCA
to HDMI.
Yeah.
So I put it up there, and yeah, it works.
It works, but it's all pixelated, like
yeah,
fuzzy.
it's bad, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? These games are made unless you get these games are made to just play on older TVs. You just
And a smaller screen.
in a smaller screen.
Yeah, because we put it on the big screen at the theater.
Yeah, it's probably horrible.
Oh no, yes. At 720, obviously the picture was smaller because it was only using 720,
Yeah.
and it was pixelated. I'm like, and there's a button on there that said that you can change it to 1080 to obviously stretch it, and it was terrible. But at the same time, it's like I remember the effects, or the actual graphics back then. That's probably close to what they look like.
Well, no, it was
especially like Speed, like Need for Speed.
yeah. But I mean, when you think about it,
The terrain was all like squared.
when you think about polygons and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like I still remember when the first time Super Mario 64 came out,
Oh.
and like I was like, dude, this is fucking 3D.
I know, it's
Like,
crazy, right?
oh
And then-
my
and
god,
then
this
you
is the
look
most
back at
3D.
it.
Yeah, you look back and it's
What kind
polygons
of
and
bullshit is this?
and I remember thinking like, oh, nothing can get more 3D than this, and I was like, this is
Alright.
crazy. And then the next gen consoles came, and it's like more crisp, and it's like, oh my god, this
Spyro?
is, yeah, oh
What?
my god, this is fucking
You can
amazing.
travel around.
Yeah, and then, but that's what I always wonder sometimes when it comes to video games and technology. Like,
Yeah.
how much better can they get looking, and what's the next thing? Yeah, that's what I'm always
The next
curious
thing is
about.
virtual reality or artificial reality.
Yeah, who knows? Well, or just
Augmented.
augmented, or everything would just be
Augmented.
super crisper every time. But we'll just see.
Oh, and just by the way, it's morning, and I woke up like an hour and a half ago, so that's why my throat's like this. So don't be commenting.
We're still doing we're still doing morning podcast.
Yeah, we're still
right
doing
now.
morning podcast, so
Mhm.
I'm constantly clearing my throat because like all the gunk is still there. Unless,
Yeah.
you know what I do? When I take a shower, that's where I spit it all out. It gets to the point where sometimes I gag.
Along
I have
with
terrible gag reflexes because of this spit in the back of my throat.
along with singing, along with singing in the shower and winning your own arguments, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yes, I do that all the time. So now
you're like, you start thinking, you're like, you have this like revelation in there.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
something about the bathroom, man. I bet you anything. A lot was
Yeah.
invented in the bathroom, whether you were sitting down or in the shower.
Yeah, a lot was invented in suction cups, probably. You know, because you want to hang stuff up. That was probably invented.
The
there.
idea for the toilet probably came when somebody was sitting down.
No. The idea for the urinal. Think about it. I pee in the shower. So
I think a lot of people do.
Probably.
Probably.
If I have to, even after I went pee, and then I hop in the shower, I have to pee again. I don't know why, but then when I go in the pool, I'm fine.
Thankfully.
You ever see Grown Ups where,
yeah,
Dad, you know, when you pee in the pool, the blue stuff reacts, or the pool reacts and it turns blue. Yeah. So there's no way it does that. And then everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And they're all 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, they're all peeing in it.
And I'm just like, that's disgusting. Kind of want to try one day though.
It does. Does it? Is it a myth?
When I go to the beach, fish are living in the water. Mm-hmm. They pee and poop.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Like people don't remember. Like they're in there.
I personally don't like the ocean. So not because of that.
Well, it's salty too.
It's salty, so yeah. I personally don't like the ocean, but
here's I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say about like
what, the whale thing.
The whale thing is because they're sad.
Oh, is they're sad?
Yeah, not the sperm. Not the sperm story. More of they're sad. You know, whales ejaculate $250,000.
I've heard about that.
250 gallons a year, whatever. That's why the water's so salty.
One of my favorite memes that I saw recently was, can you imagine being a whale breaking up with your whale girlfriend and everybody's listening to it? Just sounds to go to sleep to.
Can you just imagine?
Hey babe, this isn't gonna work out. Maybe we should see other people.
He was like,
yeah.
I saw this comedian. I saw a video of this comedian. He was talking about how like women were like very oh god, what happens? They don't like drama. They don't like seeing blood. Or I can't remember what. But then they'll go to sleep listening to a CSI podcast or something like that. Or like a video where it goes like, "Oh, babe, that's too scary. The clown." Da, 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 da. And then you're sitting with them watching their CSI show, whatever. It's like his legs were cut off. Her arms were cut off. Like she's like eating popcorn.
They will never catch me.
Yeah. Oh, it's just too funny.
It's something I never got into. I know it's kind of like a not a parody, but with like a thing that adults get into. It's like CSI shows and like forensic files and stuff. Something I never got into. I don't know if it's because I tried. Crystal will be watching documentaries and or like murder victims and stuff. I never got into that. Like it's just
the only.
It's like that. It's like that 5 episodes of like information at the end. We never found them.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
Okay, well then
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or whatever like that. It was all made up to begin with.
Well, yeah, that's.
But when I first watched
based
it,
on true events or based on true story, that doesn't mean
I connected right away.
Yeah. Immediately, I was like,
I watched the movie finally, right? And I'm like, oh my god! And then it's like they have found footage, and I'm like,
I remember that too. Yeah.
What? And that they got murdered or whatever, and then they have never found them. Like.
Oh, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. Based on true stories could literally mean, hey, this guy shared the same name. Based on a true story.
Yeah.
Or based on true events.
I mean, technically, you can say based off true events. They're just like the events actually like exaggerated.
No, but do you know the real Texas Chainsaw?
Nah.
It was basically like some guy was a murderer. Yeah. And I think he did like it
was probably like a skinny dude or something.
Back in like the 1800s. Like back in those days where like you know,
he didn't have a chainsaw.
He didn't have a chainsaw. I think he did make like lampshades out of like human skin and stuff like that. But like it wasn't some guy wearing a mask, just,
some big dude that used to be a butcher at some store.
Some bullshit like that. Yeah.
No, nothing like that. The real scary criminals and killers are the ones that look like library teachers or something, or like
no, they look
teachers.
like regular people.
Yeah, they look like regular people. Just like you and me. It's crazy. Yeah. Like if you see like the news, like this person was convicted of da-da-da, and then you see like the picture of the guy or whatever, you're like, what the that guy looked like he was like standing behind me at McDonald's one day, you know?
Yeah, so you get people paranoid too.
He doesn't look like, this mean guy. And some of the mean guys are the ones saving like kids or something.
Why can't they just be like Batman villains when they clearly you can see that they're the villains, right?
Oh yeah. There's something wrong with the other side of the face.
Yeah.
You should be called Two-Face. two-faced son of a. It's always funny to see Batman villains acting the way they do, because if you really like dissect them, they're all pretty much the same. They're crazy. They have elaborate plans a lot of the times. They'll tell you their plan before they're done.
Well, when you go through like the campy versions, yeah, it was all like
they're all very similar. They all like have like the same. I mean, that's why they probably kept them all in the same like Arkham Asylum or something like that. Which much. Somehow they always escaped, which makes you wonder like how like corrupt was the asylum, because they're always escaping. Someone's out. The Joker's out again. I have to catch him. Robin, how did he get out? I don't know, but we have to put him back in. You can't keep putting him back in if he keeps getting out. You got to fix the situation, then go get him, put him back in.
You can't kill him. You can't kill him.
You can't. Yeah, I know. I saw the killing joke, whatever. Like they're like two sides of the same coin kind of situation. Yeah, it was funny. And I think the Joker told a joke on that one, and then Batman actually laughed.
Kills him. Yeah.
He laughed.
He kills him at the end. It's insinuated that he killed him.
Yeah.
Of course, that's in a different universe, so it's not that same.
Oh,
way.
yeah. Nice.
Anyway, nerd Tourette, sorry.
So I heard a dad joke the other day, and I thought it was freaking hilarious, and I keep sharing it. It's what's the difference? I'm gonna ask you. Do you know the difference between toilet paper and wallpaper?
No.
Disgusting, man. It's so disgusting.
Fucking dad jokes.
And then there's other one goes like, to the person who stole my antidepressants. This is a shout out to you. To the person who stole my antidepressants. I hope you're happy.
God, dad jokes. I'm telling you, man, it's just like what I told you before the show, that if you go rewatch old Looney Tunes,
they're all
basically dad jokes.
You know what's funny? I've been sharing pretty much what's considered now dad jokes for the longest time. And so when it pops up on my Facebook memories, I'll retype it in, share it, whatever. And then people are like, that's so funny. That's so funny. There's only one person that has like caught me. It's like, hey, this is the same joke you used like 3 years ago.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, stalker much? Just kidding. No, but it's funny. It's like, because I keep
call them out on it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Get off my Facebook. I'll block you. Anyway, so I share a lot of that. And it's funny. It's like I posted something. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can remember it. I have to look at it, but all the phone devices are being hooked up.
Yeah, we're kind of
actually. Do you have your phone?
I do.
Yeah, look up my most recent Instagram post, and then I always.
Is it the push and pull one?
Yeah, the push and pull one. There we go.
Hold on. I know what you're talking about. I saw it this morning.
A little piece of advice.
When I woke up this morning, that's the first thing I saw.
This little piece of advice is gonna open so many doors for you. Push and pull, and then I always add in a little extra in the captions, like I don't trust revolving doors.
Okay, yeah, here we go. It's remember these two words.
They're gonna open.
They will open up the doors in your life. Push and pull. You know, I'll admit you did put some good ones in here before. Oh yeah, patient. I broke my arm at 3 places. Doctor, you should probably avoid those places.
Yeah. Can you imagine the doctor saying that to you?
Oh, there's your soul patch. There's your soul patch picture.
Yeah. People.
You know what's funny? I mean, were you really trying to bring back the soul patch? When you see that picture, what do you think of yourself? Like, that's like what? How
kid? I was oh man, that was one of the 3 jobs I was working at the time. I was definitely under 21 because I don't.
Okay, so it's 10 years ago at least.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you think back, and you just look at that, right? And I'm sure every generation probably goes back and like thinks about their. Well, actually, I can't say every generation, but like.
I probably would have shaved it off.
Yeah.
If my mentality now today went back into my body 10 years ago, I would have been like, shave the sucker off.
Yeah.
Right?
So like I remember, so I had my ears pierced since high school.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, so you remember that? Yeah, I used to wear the diamond stud. Yeah, hell yeah.
Only 1 ear?
No, both of them.
Both ears?
Yeah,
you know what? If I ever got my ear pierced, excuse me. If I ever got my ears pierced, I would have wanted to do both.
Yeah, no, I mean, at first it was like kind of. I mean, you look back at like old movies and stuff. Like it was cool to have one.
Yeah, it's cool to have one. Left is right, right is wrong.
Yeah, right is wrong because the right was the gay side. I don't know where that came. I don't know where that one was. That one was. I mean, yes, that won't
If my right side was
today's culture is not gonna that won't fly.
Yeah.
But you just gotta know that back then.
No offense to anybody.
No. I have nothing against.
If you want to wear 2 on the right, you're good.
LGBT, all that. I'm not against any of that. I'm not against any of that. Yeah, no. but I mean, back in like the 2000s and all that stuff, like it was like, oh, you can't put on your right side as the gay sign. Oh shit, I'm not gonna do that. And
I don't know why that spread.
I don't know how that came out.
I
don't know.
I heard it, and the only time I ever repeat it is if I saw somebody have an earring. Is like, is that true? And then you're like, no, that's not true. That's the only reason I would repeat it.
Yeah, I remember one time with my friends, like his like a spiral notebook, one of them broke, like, and he just like put it on his like. It was like back in middle school. I was like, dude, that's the gay side. Oh shit! And he put it back on the other side.
Oh yeah, when they lost the back end.
Yeah.
And they put like a little eraser. Like poke it in.
Oh, I never saw that. I never saw that. But
that's pretty smart.
That is smart. That's a hack.
I don't know.
That's a hack for right now. Yeah, but no, my friend just did it in middle school. His spiral notebook broke, and he got one that kind of looked like an earring.
That's so funny.
And he just like,
I did that. I did that on one year on 8th grade dance. I did that. I got like some like a yarn of metal, right?
Yeah.
And I cut off a little piece, made it look a little earring, and I think I put it too tight because when I showed up to the school, I remember this friend of mine, Jason. He's like, "Dude, is your ear okay?" Because I did too tight. It was red. It was just I bruised easily, so that's probably what was happening. I was getting irritated.
Put up those pictures, man. We humbling pictures is all I'm gonna say. We're gonna have to try.
My mom got so mad at me that night.
Yeah.
Or after the picture came out that I paid to take an 8th grade dance picture, right? I was dressed up. My cousins were dressed up, so and then a friend of mine show up. He had his like that jersey, like that really long tee, whatever.
Back in the bag and sag.
So we're all like all dressed up, and you just see him like standing like a cholo, and I'm just and I'm like, no, he was my friend. Come take a picture with us. Blah 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 blah. No, I got the money, whatever. And my mom's so bad. I mean, obviously I crop myself out when I can. And she was like, "Todos vestidos bien y este nada." He looks like he was going to just out and about.
Just rolled up, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, me and my brother called those the bag and sagging days.
Yeah.
Where like you remember when clothes was like you had to wear like extra large clothes when you were
halfway
small?
down your butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. I remember that.
I never did the whole
Echo was one of the best clothing lines to do that because everything was big.
Echo.
I remember I used to get an extra large Echo shirt when I'm like at that time I could have probably just been a small.
Yeah.
But it was just all. I mean, you go back.
Yeah, baggy clothes.
Baggy clothes, man. Oh man, the days.
Okay, now I don't know if this is just because we're parents or something, but now like any extra material that we get on any kind of clothing, I think about it's just gonna take that much longer to do laundry.
Oh, because
it's heavier. It takes longer to dry, all that stuff. And I'm like, dang, how messed up was it for my parents to do laundry then?
I didn't even think about that. The only thing when I think about that, I'm like, it just doesn't look good on me, And I'm like, but that was style. But at that,
at that time it was a style. Right? But then I think about it as like, man, I was fucked up. Like, that was a whole day's work for my mom.
I'm sorry, man. I sorry, Mom. I guess I didn't think about that.
Well, once we got to a certain age, she started having us doing our own stuff.
Yeah.
And she never showed us.
My mom, you know what? My mom, I think because she was just like, "Oh, I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing laundry, but I just throw my laundry in there."
In the community laundry mat, I open up the lid and there's a picture of how to do it. So that's how I've always done it. And I've had so many
following procedures.
I've had so many people correct me. What? No, that's not how you do it. You put this, then halfway through you put this.
Yeah, everybody has their own way. But yeah, going back to the earrings, I remember, when I had my ears pierced. Well, one, me and my brother had to convince her dad.
Yeah.
And my mom was kind of cool about it. She said, "All right, you gotta get past your dad. Getting past my dad was always the chore for us, right?"
Yeah.
And we were like, "Okay, how are we gonna do this?" So my brother got his ears pierced first, even though I had the okay to do it. I didn't do it until like years later, or I remember when. I'm still trying to figure out when I did it. But it's funny you remember that though. But anyway, so I remember my brother, he had a magazine. I think it was either like a hip hop magazine or a basketball magazine. I can't remember.
Makes sense though.
Yeah.
One.
He had I want to say hip hop magazine. He's going to correct me after this. I know when he sees it. But anyway, he's like, "All right, I remember this was our pitch."
Yeah.
All right, this is our pitch to our dad. So,
Do you have a whole presentation and everything?
I mean, yeah, my
We
brother.
get more women.
Hold on, you're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me here. So, yeah, we're getting we're. Oh yeah, wouldn't fly, wouldn't fly anymore. But anyway,
let's hear the pitch.
all right. So we had the pitch. My brother had this picture, and it was, I don't know if it was like a jewelry ad in there or a cologne ad or anything, but the picture had a dude. It just all you could see is the dude's ear, and he had an earring, like diamond studded fucking earring, and there was a girl licking his ear. Okay, so
that sold him.
No, well, because I mean, dads back then were all like, only girls wear earrings. Yeah. You know, like, oh, either you're gonna be gay or what's going on. Yeah. Since I know the gay thing was probably one of the first things that like would go on in like a dad's mind back then. The other thing was like, oh, you're gonna be a cholo now. Yeah. You know, okay, that's the secondary one, right? So we had to sell it to my dad. So my brother was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna show this to Pops. Yeah. And you know, back me up. My brother's always like, back me up. All right, I'll back you up. So we go to my dad. My dad's laying in bed, like just watching TV in his room. Yeah. And we go, like, look, we want to get our ears pierced. And, you know, he's all, at that time, he wasn't very, like, as stern as he was when we were little. But, like, we had to level with him. We're like, my dad's like, my brother's like, mira, pa que pase esto. Yeah. Like, well, so this can happen. And we show him the picture of the ad of the girl. We're like, hey, so we're going to be men, Pops. And we're going to be, you know, we're going to try getting girls. Like, that's the thing, you know, manly. Yeah. Right. And anyway, I don't know what went on in his mind. I don't know if he was like, all right, he let us do it. Yeah. We had earrings. Man, I kept those earrings on for, I want to say, the last time I wore my diamond studded earrings was about, what are we on, 2022? About 5 years ago. I stopped. And the reason why I stopped was that I had a picture, you know, I started getting gray hairs. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, this is on me. I'm not giving anybody shit. If you have gray hairs and you have earrings, just look.
We started thinking about the age part, right?
Yeah. I started looking at myself and I was like, dude, me personally, I looked like one of those guys that just like, I already don't act my age, but now I started to look like one of those guys that like literally just like didn't act as like literally like you look at that guy. Oh, he's still holding on to his, his teen years. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't want to look like that. I already don't. And I already know. And I'm okay with the way I act, but the way I looked, I was like, I can't. And what made it worse was that I remember one time we were in the car. My dad was driving us to school, and we were in the car, and we were listening. Me and my brother, most of my brother, he was also in the stage when we were listening to Korn. Do you remember the band Korn?
I remember him. I just can't think of any songs.
Okay. Anyway, so you know it was grunge rock and stuff, and like, so we were doing that, and right, it turns in the corner. The car turns in the corner, and it's this older. To us, he looked like an older guy. Mm-hmm. Gray. His whole head was gray. He had earrings, and he was like just like blasting music that sounded like Korn. And we were all laughing. Me and my dad, my brother, like we're in the car. We're laughing, and my dad's like, we're laughing. We're like, old guy listening to this, and he's still like, yeah. And guess what happened when I saw that picture 5 years ago? When I decided to stop wearing earrings, guess what's the first thing that came in my mind? That whole thing. I was like, it's funny. I made fun of that guy, and here I am about to turn that guy if I don't take off these earrings.
That's funny.
And so I was like, you know what? There's a certain age. There's a certain thing for me. It was me personally. It just didn't look fitting anymore. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? It's time to retire these babies. Yeah. And I did.
That's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, I never, like I said, if I ever had to, I would have gotten both earrings. I don't think I would have thought about the whole gray hair thing because I've had gray hair for a while.
I mean, yeah.
Even in high school, I had gray hair.
It's weird. I think I started getting gray hairs like at least 8 years ago.
But now it's in a beard.
Oh, yeah, mine, it's just present.
It's everywhere. Some chest hair, I found some.
Oh, I haven't done that yet, but. Yeah.
I'm worried to look in the back.
And we'll have to ask Crystal for that one.
Yeah, hey, baby, come here.
Hey,
Like,
do
what?
me-
Oh
do me
God,
quick-
what are you doing?
Really quick. It's nothing you haven't seen before.
Yeah. Wait, what? No, it's I know it's gonna happen. I feel like, man, it's like a distinguished look.
That's so when my gray hair started coming in, that's one thing my wife kept saying. She's like, makes you look more distinguished. I was like, distinguished?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I still like Pokemon. How am I gonna look distinguished?
Does that mean I have to start reading books or something? Like,
yeah, it's wearing
like,
sweater vests and stuff. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
no.
do that. Have a pipe. Have like pretty much dress like what's his name? The guy from Playboy.
Oh, Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, because that look was like, for me, was like a little distinguished, a little bit more relaxed, distinguished for sure.
I mean, only Hef can really just pull that one off, though.
Yeah, there's some people that get like gray hairs. And you're like, yeah, you should probably dye them.
So I thought about dyeing my gray hairs, but that is too much work, man.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it.
That's too much upkeep, and I'm really not that type of person. At this point, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try doing the whole silver fox look, man. If I can pull it off. Yeah. I'm not. It makes me sound very egotistical. I'm not. So sorry, but I've accepted the gray hairs.
No,
I'm just like, whatever.
I think the gray hairs, it's just, it's not gonna be a big deal for me. It doesn't feel like a big deal to me. When people point out though, they haven't seen me in forever or something, or my parents or my mom like looks at me, oh, ya tienes, before when I was a kid, ya tienes muchas canas.
Yeah. I think
it's because you stress out too much. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm too stressed. Like, I think it's just genetics, to be honest.
No, it definitely is. I think one of the reasons why I was so like against my gray hair stuff, because I remember my dad. I was just growing up watching my dad. My mom would like sit there and like use tweezers and pick out some of his like gray hairs.
Yeah.
And
I was told not to, because every one you pull, two more grow back.
Exactly. Yeah, all that stuff. But like that was the thing. My dad was always very like, oh, I don't want to look old and all this stuff. So growing up, that's what I like adhered to.
Yeah.
And so like it kind of like, I'm not gonna say messed me up in a way, but it made me like.
You know what I like to
think
do?
that.
I'm terrible at like cutting my hair and shaving a lot. There's no like. Even now, I can feel this hair touching the microphone, because it's like trying to reach.
Hey, that's where the static's coming from.
Yeah, maybe. Like, anyway, so I let my hair get to a certain point, like long and stuff like that, and then my beard's all messy. And like, I don't know why, but like I like to do like a little transformation of my own, like cut my hair and then shave it the same day or whatever. And I'm like, oh wow, like you ever see those videos on like YouTube or Facebook where like they take some homeless guy and they give him like a whole makeover?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Wow, you look like a silver fox, whatever." I'm like, in my head, I'm trying to like, I look like a homeless person in the beginning, and then, I should get a camera that, like, rotates around me.
I remember, I used to like shave my face, like be smooth as a baby's butt kind of style. I stopped doing that. Now I just trim and just let the beard go or whatever. But Jesus, where was I going with this?
I have no idea. I think we're just talking about shaving.
We were just talking about shaving. All right, we're talking about shaving. Why are we talking about shaving? Why was I talking about shaving?
I have no idea. I don't know. Well, we're at 53 minutes, so I think this is going to be the end of the podcast.
Hold on, let me try to remember that. Seriously, let me try to remember that.
Where'd I put my pencil?
Why was I saving? Forget it.
It's gone forever.
Just forget
You'll be heading home.
I'm gonna be in the shower at the most stupidest time, and I'll be like, "That's what I wanted to say." Now I look like an idiot on the pod.
I'm curious. I wonder if there's a podcast that's done in the shower.
We're not doing that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying take a shower together.
You know how long it took us to even get this started right now?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. I'm not saying us. I'm saying if anybody out there feels like they have these conversations in the shower for some reason.
Conversations in the shower.
Yeah, like conversations in the shower, and you're like just talking it out, whatever. If like they record it at the same time, the only problem is the noise of the shower itself and the water splashing.
I mean, like that's where most of our ideas. That's where most of my ideas come from. So.
I feel like some organization that deals with like water conservation is gonna be really pissed if they do that though. Think about it, how much water we're wasting just talking in the shower.
Oh,
it's so wasteful. Yeah, you want to talk about waste? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, where's that? Do our
Oh.
chime. No.
Thanks for hopefully watching and listening to
Two dads in a pod. Give us shout outs. If you want to be shouted out like one of our friends, go ahead and let me know. Well, eventually we're still trying to fix up our studio here. We've had some technical difficulties. Hell, the last episode we did was what? November?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Well, holidays rolled around, so I got busy.
Holidays rolled around. We've been sick. A lot of shit has happened. I mean, but we're hoping to be back
Optimus
on track.
Prime. No, sorry, Omicron. All that stuff.
So, hit us up, 2dadsinapod, gmail.com. Look at us on YouTube. Hopefully we'll have this. I think, I was actually monitoring this feedback video and it wasn't as bad and choppy. I say we should still upload it.
Upload it. Just go for it.
Just go for it. And so, I'll probably take another stab at it and take a look at it, but I'm sure we'll be fine. But Anchor, Spotify, wherever you hear your pods, well, I guess.
Yeah.
But definitely, we'll follow a link on our Instagram too, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.